JD Vance is once again facing online ridicule after an attempt to connect with a Wisconsin crowd ended up falling completely flat. While speaking at the Wisconsin Air National Guard facility at Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport on Wednesday, the vice president tried to lighten the mood by joking about how locals pronounce the state's name. Take a look at what happened.
And I gotta say, it would be so nice to have a governor in this incredible state, one of the most beautiful states in the union, especially this time of year. I love Wisconsin, or as you guys say, Wisconsin. Love Wisconsin, but we have got to have a governor who takes fraud as seriously as the President of the United States, who's trying to save your money as much as we are in Washington, and that's Tom Tiffany. Tom Tiffany is who we got to elect the next governor.
The joke drew only a muted response, with just a handful of laughs, before Vance quickly moved on. But online, the reaction was far less forgiving. A clip of the moment spread rapidly across social media, with critics piling on. One user wrote, quote, "Please unmute this. It's so much worse than the text could ever convey." Another asked, quote, "How can you fumble that joke this badly?" Others took aim at Vance's delivery rather than the joke itself. One viral post read, quote, "He and Elon Musk are competing for the top spot of least charismatic person in the history of our species." Another brutally joked, quote, "If Vance were a spice, he'd be flour." The awkward exchange has now become the latest viral moment from the vice president's public appearances, with critics arguing that his attempt at local humor completely missed the mark. And that wasn't the only uncomfortable moment from the event. Another speech clip from the very same appearance is also going viral, this time involving Vance's remarks about a woman who was barely visible on the venue's giant screens. Here's what happened.
And I want to point to this woman. I want to be clear that the woman in the back did nothing wrong. But look at this woman in the front with the smug look and the Louis Vuitton bag.
This is the clip over which White House tried to defend U.S. Vice President JD Vance after an awkward speech moment, but ended up accidentally insulting him instead. A social media post meant to slam a journalist has now sparked ridicule online, with critics claiming the administration unknowingly called its own vice president dumb. Here's what happened. JD Vance was speaking in Milwaukee on Wednesday as he promoted the Trump administration's efforts to crack down on benefit fraud. During the event, he highlighted the case of Marquita Barnes, a Milwaukee woman sentenced earlier this year to 10 years in federal prison after being convicted in a multi-million-dollar healthcare fraud case.
I want to be clear that the woman in the back did nothing wrong. But look at this woman in the front with the smug look and the Louis Vuitton bag. A woman who quite literally stole from young mothers who needed prenatal care, and the state of Wisconsin, ladies and gentlemen, had to scale down that program because of insufficient funds. So that this woman could go and buy a Louis Vuitton bag, there were young mothers in Wisconsin who did not get access to the prenatal care that they needed.
While Vance turned over a large display board and continued speaking, there remained a problem while the speech continued airing live. Television cameras and viewers watching online could barely see the woman he was referring to because of the lighting and the way Vance positioned the display board. The image was almost completely obscured on camera. The visual aid he wanted everyone to focus on wasn't actually visible. Political commentator Asen Torabi, senior digital editor at Midas Touch, posted the 6-second clip on X. The clip quickly spread across social media, with users pointing out the irony that Vance repeatedly said, "Look at this woman," while the audience couldn't actually see her. That's when things became even more awkward. The White House Rapid Response 47 account, created to push back against what the administration describes as fake news, jumped into the conversation. Apparently believing Torabi had somehow edited or hidden the image, the official account fired back, calling the journalist dumb and accusing him of shielding a criminal who stole $2.4 million in taxpayer-funded benefits meant to help at-risk pregnant women and women with young kids. Except Torby hadn't edited anything. The video was simply an unedited clip from Vance's own speech. The reason viewers couldn't clearly see the display was because of the way Vance himself held it. That realization quickly spread online. The official MeidasTouch account, too, responded. Ron Filikowski, editor-in-chief of MeidasTouch, weighed in with a sharp jab at Trump's White House. The exchange quickly became another viral political moment on X. Supporters of the administration defended the broader message about combating fraud, while critics focused on what they saw as an avoidable communications blunder. The incident also highlighted how quickly official government social media accounts can become part of the story themselves. Instead of shifting attention back to the healthcare fraud case, the conversation online largely centered on whether the White House had misunderstood its own video. The underlying case Vance referenced remains significant. Federal prosecutors said Marquita Barnes fraudulently obtained millions of dollars in taxpayer-funded benefits intended to provide prenatal care and support for vulnerable women and young children. She was sentenced to a decade in prison earlier this year. But much of that message was overshadowed after the viral exchange between MeidasTouch and the White House. As of now, the White House Rapid Response account has not publicly corrected or deleted the post. Whether the response was simply a misunderstanding or an overzealous attempt to defend the vice president, it has become yet another example of how quickly political messaging can backfire in the social media era. And for many viewers, the biggest headline wasn't the fraud case. It was the White House seemingly roasting its own vice president.